What is going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. We are here in the 10.1 PTR looking at tier set bonuses for Enhancement Shaman. They just made a massive change to the tier set bonus, and we're going to talk all about that today. First of all, it looks completely amazing. Look at this thing. Look at the shoulders. They're like crackling and stuff. Oh, it's so good. I actually love this set. The look of it already is really, really good. Let me show you the old set of what it was. Let's just go big here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Oh, not too far. So, what was the enhancement set? It's right here. Here's what it did. It gave you 12% mastery. Sundering gives you 12% mastery, okay? This is what it used to do like 2 days ago. When Sundering hits one target, you do 30% more physical damage. When Sundering hits two targets, your next Chain Lightning does more damage. It was really weird and confusing, right? Nobody really quite understood. Do you get the benefit of... Do you have to only hit a single target? Can you hit more than one target and still get the physical buff? It didn't really make a lot of sense, okay? So, that is gone. That tier set bonus is gone now. Let's see what the new one does. Here it is right here. Sundering... now increases your mastery by 24% instead of 12%. They doubled it, okay? 24% mastery. Sundering now increases your physical and fire damage dealt by 30% for 15 seconds. And your next 3 Chain Lightnings deal double damage and refund half the Maelstrom weapon stacks consumed. Oh my god. This thing is like... it went from being like... not really even understandable to possibly just like swamp ass kind of thing to like the best tier set in the entire list probably. This is insane. This turns Sundering into a Giga Chad cooldown now. It is absolutely ridiculous. So let's look at the consequences of what this does for us. So really quickly, I think the number one most obvious thing to talk about here is that it gives you a physical and fire damage amp by 30%, and it gives you 24% mastery now. What does this mean? What does this affect? Well, most importantly, it's going to affect Fire Nova. They changed Fire Nova. It does Flame Strike damage, which is fire and physical. So, guess what? Fire Nova literally triple dips on the damage here. Mastery increases your fire damage. That's 24% more fire damage on Fire Nova. Physical by 30%. And fire by 30%. It's buffing both of those. Fire Nova gets both of those. So it gets the mastery and the physical and the fire. I don't know how this is going to work out in terms of the math. Like, I don't know what it means. But it means, I think, ultimately that we're going to be taking Fire Nova. 100% Hailstorm is going to be gone. Frost Shock is going to be gone. We're switching now to Fire Nova with this tier set bonus in 10.1. So... that's definitely what's going to be happening just right out of the gates. Fire Nova is going to be your AoE button, and it's going to be insanely strong. Number 2, here's what I think is going to be interesting about the builds. Here's what I think is going to happen with the builds. You're either going to do a physical plus fire build, which would look something like this. I've just kind of mocked this up. I think this is maybe what it might look like. So you take Fire Nova, you can spread your Flame Shock, because again, your fire damage is buffed. Lava Lash does 30% more damage. Your Flame Shocks are doing 30% more damage after you press Sundering. Of course, it's only after you press Sundering. So you're going to get the fire stuff over here, and then you're going to get the physical stuff. You're going to get Doom Winds. You're going to come down and get the proc chance on Deeply Rooted, but not go all the way into Thorms, because Thorms is mostly about lightning stuff. We're only really interested in physical. So you want the proc on Ascendance. You want Alpha Wolves, because they give you 30% more physical damage if you don't take Elemental Spirits. If you didn't know this, your baseline Feral Spirits with Alpha Dogs, they buff your physical damage by 30%, because there's 2 of them at 15%, that's 30%. So, you're going to take that. You're going to take Legacy to get more physical damage, 25% more physical damage once you get the reset on Storm Strike, okay? And then you take Elemental Assault. So here's what this does. Your tier set bonus gives you 24% more damage to Fire Nova, and then 30% more damage to Fire Nova, and then another 30% more damage to Fire Nova. And then these talents here, this gives you 30% more physical damage. That's 30% more damage to Fire Nova. Again. Okay? Are you following me? So this build is like you're balancing both. You're going to do fire damage, and you're going to do physical damage. Okay? Let's see what it looks like really quick. Put the turnip down. So we have 5 targets. So you're going to summon your dogs. And then you're going to, I would say, get your Flame Shocks going. Maybe, and then, sorry, yeah, get your Flame Shocks going. And then you're going to do Sundering into Doom Winds. Okay, you ready for this? Sundering into Doom Winds. So we go Wolves, Flame Shock, spread it around, Sundering into Doom Winds, and Fire Nova right away to get as much of that going as you can. Now, this is the physical build. Sorry, this is physical and fire. So we're fishing for those procs still. Our Wolves are back. Let's get one more Fire Nova in there. There we go. To make sure we cash in. We're trying to... Why is that all turned off? I don't know what's going on. I can't see the target dummies. Doesn't matter. It's all good. We know that we're spreading Flame Shocks. You're trying to fish for Ascendance procs still. But your Fire Nova is going to be doing crazy amounts of damage. Keep summoning your Wolves. Your Wolves are giving you 30% more fire, physical and fire damage. Sorry, physical damage. That's going to go into Fire Nova. Sundering is back. We're going to press it into a Fire Nova right away. Cash in on it right away. And then we're pumping physical damage as much as we can. Oh, we got a proc. There we go. We're in our window. This is huge. So we're gonna. Oh, we got another proc. Then we're gonna press Fire Nova. Our window is ending right now. Our window just ended. Our physical amp window from Sundering. It lasts for 15 seconds, right? So it's actually quite a while. But this is the idea. I'm getting crazy procs now. This is incredibly lucky. This would not normally happen. But this is the idea, okay? You're going to have your physical stuff going and your fire stuff going. Look at Fire Nova's damage. 14% of our damage there. It had some crazy big hits for Fire Nova. Then Wind Fury attack is there. The Ascendance procs were crazy. Flame Shock damage is also really high because it's doing fire damage and it's benefiting, of course, from the tier set bonus. Okay. Wait, did they buff? Did they buff this? Why does it say volcanic damage? I'm confused now. Doesn't matter. I can't tell if this, I think this is this volcanic damage? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, physical plus fire. So you're getting the Spirit Bomb damage from the Wolves. You're getting extra damage from the Wolves just being out. Mostly the Wolves are out to amp your Fire Nova damage and then your Wind Fury damage. That's what they're there for. They're giving you 30% more physical damage. Legacy of the Frosters gives you 25% more physical damage. The tier set bonus is giving you physical and fire and mastery. It's all pouring into Fire Nova, okay? And it's also pouring into your Wind Fury physical stuff. Now, what if we try a pure fire build? Let's dump the physical stuff in terms of Doom Winds and stuff, and let's just go for a pure fire build. No more Ascendance procking. I know a lot of you guys hate the Deeply Rooted Elements build. I understand. Fair enough. So let's just try a pure fire build. What does that look like? Once again, we are still going to be getting a physical buff from the tier set bonus. So we do want to make sure we're pressing Storm Strike a little bit. We're going to make sure we have Wind Fury weapon on so that we're getting the Wind Fury damage. But no more are we pressing Doom Winds. Basically, when we press Sundering, we're just doing as much fire damage as we can. We've got Hot Hand, we've got Ashen Catalyst, we've got Lashing Flames. We're tab targeting through enemies and doing as much fire damage as we can. We're just cashing in on fire damage. And we're not going to go Alpha Wolves this time. We're going to try Elemental Spirits to try and cash in on the Fire Dog to make sure that we get that. We also do have Primordial Wave for more damage. Give me 1 second. Let me try and reset these bars. Okay, I fixed it. We got the yellow bars up now. We're good to go. We still got our punching bag, which is really good. Let's make sure we utilize it. Okay, so we're going to put down our Wind Fury totem. I'm not even sure if you take Wind Fury totem. I'm not sure yet. We're just experimenting. Here's the pure fire build. So we're going to go Wolves into Primordial Wave this time, spread it around, do our Lightning Bolt, and then do Sundering Fire Nova, okay? So we're going to go Wolves, Primordial Wave, okay? Spread it around, Lightning Bolt. Now we go Sundering Fire Nova, okay? Now we're tab targeting to try and cash in on our Lashing Flames. Dogs are back. We're trying to get Fire Dogs if we can. Fire Nova. The big speed amp from Primordial Wave is amazing. Look at our damage, by the way. It's completely insane. This is definitely a better opener than the physical one. We'll see if the damage kind of settles down. I wonder. It seems to be doing just fine right now. Okay. Anytime you get a Hot Hand proc, you want to tab target through. Right, there we go. We got one right now. Let's tab target through to get Lashing Flames. Fire Nova's up. Press Fire Nova. Sundering is coming back. Let's try to get our Primordial Wave first. So Primordial Wave right now into Wolves. Get the Lightning Bolt buff. Then we go Sundering. Now we're going super fast. With the big physical damage and fire damage buff, we're going super, super fast. That's what you kind of want, right? Cash in on as much damage as you can while you've got this buff rolling there. Our haste wore off. Okay. So there, it looks like this build probably does a little bit more damage just with my napkin math right here. Just judging on the little details damage meter there. That's how it kind of works, okay? So we'll look at the damage numbers here. Again, chain lightning. Now our fire damages should be higher here. Flame shock, fire and flame shock so high because we were tab targeting with lashing flames. But again, it's getting 30% more damage from the tier set bonus and another 24% from the 2-piece. So your flame shocks will be doing 54% more damage in the sundering window. Your lava lash is going to do 54% more damage inside the sundering window, right? Those hot hand lava lashes, look at, we had a 200k, 190k lava lash there. Insane damage, right? Inside the sundering window. Just crazy, crazy damage. So you can see even here, the Fire Nova crit for a little bit higher. So this might be the better way to go. I do think there are options for sure. You could try to do a physical / fire build, but it looks like the builds are not necessarily going to change too much for Mythic Plus. I would argue that you're just definitely going to take Fire Nova over Hailstorm. That is the main sort of caveat to take home there. So that's all I want to talk about today. I just think that this change is completely bonkers. It might actually be overpowered, but if anything, it's a better direction than what it was before. It's a much better direction. I still don't know if the physical damage buffs are good enough to warrant switching entirely into a physical / fire build like I showed a second ago with Doomwinds. Maybe I just didn't execute it properly, but this fire build seems to be in a perfectly fine state. Get rid of Hailstorm, bring in Fire Nova. Remember, it's triple dipping. It's getting the mastery buff, the physical buff, and the fire buff. And depending if you get a fire dog or not, you can also amp the damage of it again. And then you just go, hot hand, ashen catalyst, lashing flames. Get the damage on your lava lash and your flame shocks. Look at our flame shock damage once again. It's hitting so hard because in our window for sundering, we are getting 54% more damage on flame shock, on Fire Nova, on lava lash, right? So big fire damage buffs there. I think this might be the build to do, but there might also be a case to be made for the physical / fire build as well. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think in the comments down below? Do you think that there might be two different builds, one that's got physical and fire? Or do you think we're just going to flip Hailstorm over to Fire Nova, and that's the only real major change that we're going to end up making? Also, what do you think about the entire tier set being funneled into this one cooldown? Our tier set entirely relies on a 40-second cooldown. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's okay? Are you upset about that? Do you think the buff lasts long enough that it doesn't really matter? I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.